Hi, today I want to talk to you about 5 steps to measuring social media ROI. Step 1, identify your key performance indicators. By developing key performance indicators that you strictly adhere to, your organization can define exactly what it wants to get out of its social media strategy. Now, it's important to mention that ROI isn't always dollars and cents. Your KPIs can be awareness metrics, such as impressions and engagement. This tells you how much your messaging is resonating with your audience, and then also how far your messaging is going, which is a return on your time and your energy and your money. 2, build your social media strategy with your business objectives in mind. Take those KPIs that you define clearly and make sure that everything you do in the social media space aligns to those KPIs. So, if you really want to generate traffic to your website, don't strictly measure impressions or engagement. Or, if you want traffic to your website, don't just put content out there that's full of motivational quotes. You need to put some links out there. You need some direct website click ad campaigns out there. So make sure that whatever strategy you put together will support whatever KPIs you put in place. 3, this is where it gets a little nerdy. Make sure you're leveraging the social pixels and Google Analytics to measure everything thoroughly. By the social pixels, I mean you can use the Facebook pixel, install it onto your site. It's a little piece of code that basically tracks user behavior and matches that behavior to a Facebook user. Now, this is not personally identifiable information, so you can see it in aggregate numbers, but this allows you to see what these people are doing past what happens after the click. Also in Google Analytics, if you set up what we call UTM codes, this allows you to see what posts in particular generated what activity on your site. For instance, if I'm putting a post out there today and I'm like, click here, and someone clicks there and they go to the website and they buy, I can then see exactly which post generated which activity. And using these tracking capabilities is going to be huge in determining the ROI of your social media activity. 4, build a reporting dashboard. Now, before you freak out, I'm not asking you to invest in some high-tech reporting dashboard. What I am asking you to do is to take all of your reporting sources and blend them together in one report so you can see a holistic perspective of what you're doing online. This means taking Google Analytics, taking Facebook Insights, using something like Raven Tools or Sprout Social, taking all of that information and marrying it together and seeing what the data tells you in terms of a story. If you look at one source of data, you're not going to get the whole picture, and you may make a misstep in the wrong direction with your social media strategy by just basing your decisions on one piece of data. So by building a dashboard, you can see everything from different sources, put those together to really see how everything pans out. And 5, remember the contradiction. So what I'm going to say right now completely contradicts the fact that we can measure almost everything we do on social media. There is a huge blind spot when it comes to the effectiveness of social media, specifically social media advertising, and what that does on your website. For instance, if I run a social media ad campaign and someone clicks an ad, goes to my site, doesn't buy, comes back, and then buys, social media doesn't get credit for that in Google Analytics. So there is a huge blind spot that we all have to be aware of. And one of the biggest things that we see with client partners is when they look at Google Analytics and they look at Facebook Ad Manager and they see the data doesn't match, they want to abandon the ad strategy altogether. However, we do see a vast correlation between when our social advertising is in market with our PPC campaigns in market, that both of those activities correlate to higher sales and more visits to the website that stay around longer. Therefore, you have to follow your gut, you have to follow your data, and make sure that you remember that the path to purchase is non-linear. That means people bounce off of a lot of different stimuli before they decide to buy. In the inbound methodology, we know that 80% of people are doing research or trying to identify a solution to a problem they might have, and only 20% of people are ready to purchase at any given time. Don't advertise to the 20%. That's going to skew your ROI from social media, and you're going to think it doesn't work. So, by following these 5 steps, you can begin to measure social media ROI. Start with determining your KPIs for your organization and strictly adhering to them. Second, building your social strategy to support what KPIs you want to measure. Third, leveraging pixels like Facebook's pixel and leveraging Google Analytics to see what's really going on your website. Fourth, building a reporting dashboard to marry all of this information together to create a story out of the data. And 5, remember the contradiction. While you can measure everything, you can't measure everything. So make sure that you use all of these tools that you have at your disposal and find the true ROI on social media, whether it be the awareness for your brand, the engagements it's generating, the website clicks, or the transactions. Just make sure you use everything you have at your disposal to measure that ROI, because it does exist. It is real. I'm Nate Mendenhall. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the above. Have a good day.